save money. Learn how to hack my life. All next on Live. And now, here are Kelly Ripa and Ryan Seacrest.
Hello, good morning. Thank you all very much on this Monday, August 20th. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
How you doing? Well, the good news is it'll be cold soon.
I don't like it. I don't like cold. We know this.
Holidays will be here before you know it.
You know what I find weird is that when it gets cold outside, they turn the air conditioning on in here, which I find fascinating. And I go, why is it so cold in here? It's cold outside. And they go, well, people are wearing their coats.
They told me they play a game to see how long it takes you to figure it out.
It's bizarre. I put heaters on in my room, and I dismantled illegally that air conditioning unit that blasts cold air in my room, and I couldn't figure out how to dismantle it, so then I just taped a cue card over the air duct.
And that did it?
Yeah. And I'm freezing. I'm like, I can't be in here. And they're like, time to change your clothes. I'm like, I'm not doing it. Put the dress on over the sweatsuit.
Just like a New Yorker, we have to complain about everything, right?
Yes, exactly. That's why I live here, sweetie.
So, is there?
Sweetie.
One of Kelly's things. You know, you get to know somebody as your work wife, and they have their things. And one of her things, whether it be in text or in person, is, and you kind of know you've made a mistake when the response is, "Oh, sweetie."
But it's not from me. It comes from Andy Cohen.
Okay, well,
and
good to know.
Andy Cohen got it from somebody else who got it from somebody else.
Well,
and I'm not at liberty to discuss the originator of the "Oh, sweetie," but we all now say it. When you make a mistake, the response is,
"Oh, sweetie." And it's a deep growl.
Yes.
And I moved, right? I lived close to her. I moved downtown. I said, Kelly, great news. I've just got a place. It's downtown. "Oh, sweetie."
Remember your In My Feelings challenge? I posted it on social media. I was like, "Oh, sweetie." And occasionally it can be,
That was a dance. It was a dance.
"Sweetie, no."
But you know, just when you think you did it right, then you get that response and realize, no.
Yeah. Once in a while, I'll give Gelman just a curt "sweetie," just plain old "sweetie." "Sweetie."
Oh yeah, that's the
when you know.
meanest one.
That's the
Yeah,
meanest
that's
one.
the meanest
That's
sweetie.
the sharp one?
The
Yeah, oh, yeah, that-
kindest cut is
that cut.
"sweetie,"
Sweetie.
period. With a period.
So the deep growl is with love.
Yeah. It's more like with sorrow. Anyway,
going on?
so do you remember your first memory? Like,
Wait, do I remember? My first memory sounds like a trick.
no, like, what is your first memory?
Of what?
Your earliest memory in your life. Can you think back? Can you hearken back to baby Ryan Seacrest? I'm sure in some bizarre way it's going to revolve around a first meal.
I did see 3 cheese enchiladas at one point when you asked me the question, but that wasn't my first memory.
It's his first memory of today. Oh, sweet.
Oh, sweet. I can't remember. I mean, I see pictures of me as a toddler, which I think instigates a memory.
Right, right. Well, I was saying to Gelman backstage that I recall, and then Gelman promptly told me I was wrong because he's an expert on my memories as well. But
Just reading the article.
right. So I remember when I was 2.5, my sister was born. I don't remember her being born, but I remember being in a taxi cab, because I had never been in a taxi cab before, going to what I thought at the time I believe was an airport, but I think maybe it was a hospital with my grandmother.
Right. I can see the confusion.
Right?
Yeah.
And my parents and my parents were like, no, why would you be in a taxi cab? But then my dad remembered, yes, we would have been in a taxi cab because they were at the hospital with the car, and my grandmother would have had to get me there. Somehow, taxi cab, right? But Gelman says that 40% of people, and he's lumping me in with 40%. I always think of myself as more of the 60% side, but Gelman has lumped me into the 40%.
He puts you in the minority.
He says that I'm making up my first memory.
Yeah,
I've just
that's
made
an
that
article.
randomly
Yes.
up. Yeah. They're saying you really don't remember anything concretely until you're about 3.5 years old. But I want to remind you that as a 2.5-year-old, I was very much like a 3.5.
Like a genius.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're a genius.
She's a savant when it comes to
Exactly.
memory.
Sweetie,
I'm sure you don't.
Oh, here
Sweetie, these are the
this
facts.
article. Yes,
These are the facts. But they're saying a lot of people's memories are patchwork based on fragments, shared experiences, listening to people talk about memories, and photographs. So a lot of it is that kind of thing, like family folklore.
I can see, because there's a photograph that, I don't know where I see it every now and then. There's like a rerun in my head. It must be when I go home to where I grew up. There's a photo of me wearing, like, you know, a little baby jumpsuit, and it's like a Sears picture.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, yeah.
and my feet are up.
Yeah.
And,
you're like
my
this,
knees are...
and you're like this.
Yeah, exactly. And your knees are, you know, chubby and like and I think to myself, God, who let me out of the house like that? But I don't think I had that thought then.
Right. Right. You weren't sitting there going, who let me out of the house like this?
Correct. Correct. But I do remember my sister when she was like, but I was a little bit older than 3.5.
Yeah.
So the picture instigates the
Yeah,
memory.
no, but we didn't have, like, we don't have pictures of that. We don't have any pictures. There's nothing to spark my memory. I just remember something big was going on. It was more of a feeling. It was like something big was happening because I was in this mystery car going to this mystery place. That's the only reason that I say I have that memory, because it struck me as so out of like the mundane of my life at that point, which was, I believe, just kind of waiting around to be fed. You know what I mean? When you're 2.5,
It's
that's
when
pretty
it's
much
feeding
your
time.
day, feeding time.
Speaking of feeding time, this is earth-shattering and unbelievable.
Okay.
I guess it explains why we just can't say no to bread. Why we love, as human beings, why we crave. If it's warm and you see it and it's offered and it's in a basket and it's free, why we love bread. There's a reason why.
Yes, why?
The remains of bread baked 14,400 years ago were found in Jordan. It was a flatbread. I'm going to say a pita type bread. It was discovered years before farming was discovered. So I don't know.
Bread predates
Farming.
farming.
Yeah.
Wild grains, I guess.
I love wild grains. But think about this. This is pre-preservatives, and bread's hanging around for 14,000 years.
14,400
So there's a reason
years.
that they say watch your carbs.
24 bread-like discoveries were found at 2 fireplaces. I like a lavash.
Oh, a lavash. I will cut somebody for a lavash.
I cannot, if
Yes.
someone comes to the table with a lavash and they offer me a lavash,
I will
I'm the
knock
same.
down somebody's grandmother to get to the lavash.
just, you know what
I'm
a
not proud.
lavash, it's flat, it's crispy, and it's got seeds and things. It's like a cracker, but it's the bread that you also think to yourself, not so filling bread.
Yeah.
But the guy said,
You know what else I love?
Oh.
None.
oh,
Give me none,
Give me none
or
and
give me death.
one of the things that when we were growing up, there was this one restaurant I remember that I kept my mom, she said, do you want to go out for dinner? If I did decent during the week at school, we get to go out to dinner sometimes on a Friday. And there was this one place not far from the house that instead of bread, they served warm saltines
Oh, yeah.
that were doused in melted butter.
Warm saltines
Doused in melted butter. And the guy comes to this table and he says, may I offer you some, not the warm saltines with them, and he puts them on the bread plate. And it was all I wanted was a and have you ever try this today?
It's
Take a
the answer to
saltine.
world peace right there.
It is, it is.
You just solved the problem.
Just let it swim in melted butter, saltine and butter. Gilman, don't make such a bad face. It is a good thing.
Needs
And
a little
it's
bacon
accessible.
to crisp it up.
Everyone has saltines and butter at home. It's a survival kit.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Just heat it up.
It sounds like heaven.
It is.
It
It's what
really-
got me through my childhood.
I remember Jill Inator's birthday party. Jill Inator.
Is that?
No, Jill Inator. It's not a
Are those
made-up
two-
memory.
are those two
Jill
names?
Inator- Yeah, Jill is her first
And then
name, and
Inator?
Inator is her last name. Jill Inator. And she actually, we had the same piano teacher, but she really learned how to play the piano.
Right.
Anyway, we went to it was her slumber party in 4th grade. And again, we're like Italian, but for some reason I had never had a stromboli before. And her mom like baked a stromboli, sliced it up, and put it on a platter. And I was like, whatever this is,
Yeah.
you're living your best life.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah. A stromboli is another. It's a game changer.
because it's,
Dough.
right, it's the dough with the cheese and the pepperoni rolled all together and baked and sliced. And I didn't even know Oprah existed then. Pre-Oprah. But if I had known, if Oprah had come to the birthday party, I'd be like, oh, Dubs, try this.
Oh, Dubs.
Try it now. She'd be like, I love stromboli.
The difference with stromboli and calzone is the roll.
Yeah, calzone is
Calzone
like
is
a big
big-
pocket of
Yeah,
a
but the
pocket.
stromboli, like, they just roll
They
along.
roll the stromboli, and a calzone or a panzerotti.
Oh, a
panzerotti. It's like the dough is like it's like a pocket of dough with stuffed with cheese.
For those of you that found the bread, go looking for those two. It sounds like they may have been around
Yeah.
back then.
Yeah.
All right. It's time for the show. We got a great one. J.K. Simmons is here.
And from Orange is the New Black, Danielle Brooks is also here.
You know, Kelly, we also have some easy hacks from Kevin Pereira from Hack My Life.
You know how I feel about the
I
word
know.
hack.
I
don't
know.
like it.
I know. The
I
opposite
don't like
of
good
lavage.
hacks. I don't like hacks. It's like my moist. You know how people don't like the word moist? I don't
She didn't like the word hack. Well, we're not doing that week. We're doing Hack Week.
Moist in my life.
Right. Okay. It's
Moist
time.
in my life. Gelman, too much, too soon.
Sorry.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
time. It's time for Dance Party Travel Cheers. So that is wow. That is.
That is great.
He deserves some recognition.
Yeah, that was
is
great.
Dwight Braithwaite from East Brunswick, New Jersey.
You know, Dwight, the only thing better than your dance moves is your smile. You got a great smile.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's try Amber from Palm Coast, Florida, to see if Amber's watching to win a prize.
Doesn't Palm Coast sound like someplace we want to go?
There it is, right there.
Oh my, it's right on the coast. Look at that. Yeah, I bet you palm trees.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi, is Amber there?
May I ask who's calling?
Yeah, it's actually Ryan Seacrest and Kelly Ripa. We're on the air. We want to play a trivia game with Amber. Is she available?
Oh, this is she. Hi.
See, when we were Palm Coast Electric, she didn't.
Yeah, no, of course.
I
But,
have no idea what you're talking about. Hi.
yes, she's screening her calls.
Oh my gosh, we're looking at you in front of this arcade
Guide
game.
to Romance.
Yeah, which one are you? Did you find out if you were like sexy, passionate? Are you hot stuff?
I think you just left me at blah.
Oh, you got oh, that's weird. That doesn't sound right.
All right. Well, let's see how good you are at this, right? We're gonna spin the wheel. White's feeling himself.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
What?
Amber, not that you'll appreciate this because you already live in a beautiful place, but the Ladera Resort in St. Lucia. 7 days, 6 nights in a hilltop dream suite. I've been here. It's so nice. It includes,
She's going with you again.
I'm going with you. It includes all meals, a spa treatment per person. This trip is provided in part by Priceline. It's a prize valued at $12,300. You have 20 seconds and one guess. Good luck.
Here we go. Amber, we have had Peter Facinelli on this show before. In what series of films about vampires and werewolves? What series of films about those vampires and werewolves did we say he appeared? Peter Facinelli. 15 seconds on the clock.
Google it, Google it.
We can hear the keyboard.
Yeah.
It's okay. 5 seconds.
Take a guess.
Is it Full Moon High?
No, it's Twilight.
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 You knew it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you knew
Yeah.
it. That's all right.
I totally knew it. I totally knew it.
Sorry, you're still, yeah, remember? Yeah.
Bella.
That's good.
That's
really
the only
good.
part I read.
Amber, you're still going to get a great prize. You and a lucky member of our studio audience will each receive a $500 appliance package from Cuisinart. So please pick a number between 1 and 217.
203.
203.
Well, Amber, you have a great day. Thanks so much for watching us.
Thank you.
All right, bye. We'll be right back with J.K. Simmons.
Still ahead on Live, we'll give you easy hacks to make your life easier. From Orange is the New Black, Danielle Brooks. Coming up next, J.K. Simmons.
Hey. I don't know why, but I always get nervous when he comes out. He won an Academy Award for playing the
That'll do
world's
it.
most terrifying music teacher in Whiplash, and he stars in the hit show Counterpart. Please welcome the incredible J.K. Simmons. How are you? Good to see you. You know, it's nice having you, J.K. In New York, I always thought you were a New Yorker, but you don't live here.
I'm a once and future New Yorker.
Once and
So
future.
you're going to come here.
Yeah, we're talking about coming back to the East Coast now. Both of our kids seem to be migrating in this direction in the next year or two, so
Wow.
my wife and I are going to tag along.
Oh, no kidding. So how do your
See
kids,
if they notice.
How do your kids feel about that?
Yeah, well,
All right. You haven't told them yet.
no.
Chances
told
are they
them.
don't watch this show, so that's good.
Last time you were here, you were telling us about your son specifically was taking what they call a gap year.
Yep.
Is that right? So he did that?
He's gapped.
He's gapped, fully gapped.
Yeah. He'll be back in school here in the fall.
So he has agreed to return to school, because I always feel like
Yeah.
You think,
gap
oh, they might
year-
not come back?
Dude, will they come back? Yeah.
Gap year, like school, that kind of was hard.
Yeah, right.
No.
Well, that's great. Good for him.
Yeah.
And does he know what he wants to be or study?
He wants to be Dead Mouse.
Oh, no kidding. Like
Skrillex,
electronic
it's
music.
yeah.
Well, guess
he's-
what? That's smart.
That's a good path, right?
Yeah.
What about your daughter? She's 17. What is she thinking
She,
about?
unfortunately, would like to be an actor. I don't know. I don't know what's up with that.
Trying to talk her out of that?
You know, as she has 2 actor parents, they have not
Yeah.
convinced her to try something else.
You would think. No, but yeah.
Yeah, your wife is also in the business.
She is indeed we met on stage, and now she's back behind the camera directing and writing and editing.
She's directed you, correct?
Yeah, actually in a movie that'll be out this fall called I'm Not Here.
Oh, right.
With a bunch of really good actors, including young Sheldon, Ian Armitage,
yes, right.
who also plays me,
No kidding.
and Sebastian Stan, who also plays me, or I play them, or we all play the same character.
Right. Wow, that's exciting.
I wasn't surprised to learn that you are the muse of someone, but it was the someone that I was...
Right, you would think it would be my wife, right?
But that was the path I was going down, but it happens to be Jason Reitman.
Yeah.
I didn't know that you guys were that close.
Apparently we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was in his first feature, and then suddenly it was like we were doing a string of movies together, whether I was doing a tiny bit part or a...
But that's great. I find that in a lot of like really successful relationships between, you know, actors and directors and producers, like they tend to utilize the same people over and over again, and it's always so mutually beneficial, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah.
and Jason's case, I think he's just lazy. He just doesn't want to look for another generic bald guy.
Well, he's had good luck with you, so there you go. When we come back, we can take a commercial break. We're going to talk to JK about Seeing Double.
Lazy.
Still ahead on Live from Orange is the New Black.
Truth to you?
After all I've seen of your life, the things you've done, is there a shred of honesty in you?
Look at you, Howard. Believe me, I'm looking.
You know, Counterpart is such a great show. You play two versions of the same character, obviously, Howard. But I would think that would be a beast of a show to shoot because literally you never have a break.
Yeah, kind of wah. It's,
No, but still, I mean, that's like...
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It is a
And
lot.
the other actors in scenes with you must be like, oh, no.
Really, this guy again and this guy?
But they're two very different Howards.
They are very different Howards, and then there are times when, I mean, the first season's out on DVD now, so I think we can do some spoilers because it's already aired, but at certain points they're also pretending to be each other, and it gets very...
Do you have a technique or a way of keeping it straight that works for you to pull it both off?
I have a script supervisor who says, no, you're not that
You're
guy.
not that one.
You're the other guy, remember? Oh, okay.
And you can just shift back and forth that quickly?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's to me they're very different characters because they have a very different psychology and a different sort of emotional life. So they obviously look strikingly similar. They're both very handsome. But inside they're different. It is a burden.
Yes,
It's a curse, some would say. So you can't tell us much, but what can you tell us about the second season?
We have some great new characters. Betty Gabriel has joined the cast. I'm back on the kids.
You said the class.
Yeah. And James Cromwell plays a really fascinating character, and lots of other new characters are added to the mix, so it just gets the pot's really boiling more and more.
Well, we sure do. We love when your pot boils.
Yeah, your pot boiling's good. The first season, as you mentioned, of Counterpart, the complete first season is on Blu-ray and DVD today. J.K. Simmons, everybody.
When we return, Danielle Brooks is here. Stick around. Great to see you.
Tomorrow on Live, Chris Pratt.
Welcome back, everybody. The new season of Orange is the New Black finds the ladies of Litchfield going to the max. Of course, that means maximum security prison. Please welcome one of our favorite inmates, Danielle Brooks.
We've ever had.
Thank you. I was going for the best entrance, and I about busted my butt.
Guess what? You did it. You did it. And not only did you just win Best Interest, you just won the role as favorite guest of my life.
That's it.
You're a dream. You're my dream.
Thank you.
You're so gorgeous.
Thank you. So are you.
I mean, you live up to the name Tasty.
I try.
You really do.
You know, I try.
Are you
I'm so good. I'm so happy to be here.
We're so happy to have you.
I am
We're
a
big
huge
fans.
fan of the show.
Well, it's mutual.
I watch it all the time.
Oh my gosh.
And I heard y'all just went to Greece.
We
Yes,
did.
we did.
I went to Greece.
How was it?
Wonderful. It
Yeah.
was like a year ago.
We
though.
thought. Oh, I was gonna say.
We
We
just
thought we
got
saw
back.
you.
Yeah. Wait, what did you do there? What did you
hung out
find?
with my girls from Orange from the show.
Oh, that's. Look at you guys. Oh, you're.
Oh,
you-
yeah.
You took one of those mega boats?
Oh man, we had a blast. We did it like 2-3 times.
So that's the thing tied to the back of a boat that just
Yes,
bounces
and
on the
it's
water.
like,
Yeah, but that's really scary, isn't it?
yeah, this is amazing. Like I'm looking at the camera and I'm like, I'm here with you guys.
It's overdue. Oh my gosh. Don't hurt those braids.
So that was a year ago. What's going on this summer? What are you up to?
I am jet lagged.
Yeah. Where are you coming back from?
I just left Cologne and Berlin. So I've been in Germany.
So you guys are internationally famous. Like everywhere you go, you're a global
Yes,
superstar.
people know us. It's crazy. It's insane.
Isn't that exciting?
It's really exciting.
Yeah.
It's really cool to like, you know, have anywhere you go, people know who you are, and like they just have an impact on so many people. It's been pretty awesome.
So, like, is there a thing that you haven't done, like that you are dying to do yet, like on your bucket list this summer, like something you haven't
The
experienced?
one thing that I really want to do this summer is I want to learn how to ride motorcycles.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know about that. Did you see what happened to George Clooney?
Oh, I just, okay, that's why everybody's kind of...
Is that why? That's why nobody was really with you on that. We're like, no,
girl power, motorcycle. No, none of that.
we really like your acting. We don't want to.
What about a Vespa? Is that
It's
considerable?
still like a smaller motorcycle.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna live. I'm living life.
Yeah, you
honey.
wanna live.
If it's the end of the road on a motorcycle, take me now, Lord.
No.
I'm just gonna have some good time.
I'm gonna go with you. Now. I'm gonna be your constant companion. Like, get off of that. No.
So congratulations on your Tony nomination
Oh,
for The
thanks.
Color Purple. Is a star on stage as well.
Yeah, I was in The Color Purple on Broadway for about a year.
What was that like?
Oh, intense, because I was actually shooting Orange is the New Black, 2 seasons of Orange is the New Black at the
While
same
doing
time.
that?
Yeah,
Oh my
basically your life. You have
Right.
multiple different jobs too.
You are the Ryan Seacrest of Orange is the New Black.
Yes, pretty much. And so
But you're doing 8 shows a week and shooting that.
I
So
was.
how did they accommodate?
everybody played ball. I'm so grateful
Wow,
for
that's
Orange.
cool.
They really like allow us to fly as much as they can, you know, afford to let us like do other projects. And that one really changed my career in a lot of ways. So I'm really grateful for them to like just say, yes, you can go and be on Broadway. And win a Grammy. We won a Grammy and a Tony nomination,
Right.
but it's truly because they said yes.
I love Orange is the New Black because I think what that show has done above all other ensemble casts, the casting is so great, and the material is so good, but you all rise to the occasion. I mean, there's not a weak link in the entire cast. I love it so much.
Thank you. I love my girls. I love working with them. You know, it's been 6 seasons now.
Crazy.
It came out July 27th, which is insane. And we're going into our 7th season.
That's what we want to talk about. Let's talk about that season. Let's talk about what's coming up,
Yes.
right? With Tasty?
Tasty.
With Tasty. Right after this. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Wednesday on Live, Black Panther star Chadwick Boseman.
My public defender is saying that I am going to be locked up for the rest of my life. I am scared, Mr. Caputo. And I need your help. Please. You know I ain't got nobody else.
That's a scene starring Danielle Brooks from Orange is the New Black. Now, it ended with a cliffhanger last season. So do we pick up in immediate time, or is there a jump ahead?
We pick up an immediate
Right away.
time, right away, which I think the fans are going to be happy about. 'cause
Right.
We definitely left them like, what's going to happen?
Right.
You know,
It's a big riot.
It's a huge riot that Tasty started, and now we end in unity. Though we see our favorite characters all holding
So all
hands.
the inmates survive?
Well, that's what you gotta go and watch and go see.
You gotta go. You know what you have to do? You have to go back and read the trades to see who was negotiating.
It's crazy because the girls end up on different buses, so you don't know where they land.
Right.
But most of us are going to Max, and it's crazy what happens in season 6 for sure.
Because you become like the leader.
She does, but at this point, she's so tired and
Right.
distraught and depressed and sad, and all these things are going through. She's like possibly going to be in jail for the rest of her life.
Right.
So I think Tasty needs a break from being this leader, and I think at this moment, all the girls kind of are like fish out of water, trying to figure out this new environment.
So, you know, we talk to people who are on these popular shows, and oftentimes there's a lot of secrecy with where the show is going to go. Do you know where it's headed ahead of time?
No.
You don't? They don't?
They don't even give you a
They
little
treat us as if we are fans on the show.
No
Like,
kidding.
they don't tell us when the show is coming out. They don't give us the script. If you're lucky, you might get the script like a week in advance. If you're lucky.
We can tell you when the show's coming out.
Right.
You know now, right?
We know when you know.
Oh,
Right, exactly.
But does that make it harder to play the character when you don't know where it's going?
Yeah, it can be for sure. Like, I feel, especially when you're doing multiple jobs and all these
Right.
things, you have life, you have a mother or whatever. It's a lot to try to figure out in such a short amount
Just
of
to
time.
figure out where you're, like, what is my character doing?
Yeah.
Like, what choices should
But
I
I
be
think
making?
that's why Jenji Kohan and Jen Houston, who's the casting director, are so brilliant
Yeah.
at choosing the women. And most of us are New York actors, so like you got some real dope, serious
Some real
actors.
chops.
Yeah, because you don't have much time, and you have to like
You know,
use your.
when I first saw this show,
What, girl?
I thought, now this is what I thought. I was like, oh, I could survive in prison.
Oh.
Like I'm always like, I can survive. But I know me. I'm from New Jersey, and I'm
What
like,
makes you think you can survive?
because I'm from New Jersey. I went to public school, and I'm like, I can survive. I know, I can survive. I could do it. I could do it.
Okay.
But then I saw the show, and I was like, I don't think I can do it.
What do you think would be the one skill you needed to survive, both of you, to survive prison?
Strength?
Strength, okay. Most is like bartering.
I had that.
or, like,
I would need to overcome. Like, there's certain things I would need to get over.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like my wearing like my feet in the shower. I'd have to get over it. You know what I mean?
Like,
I'd
would you
have
do like the tampon?
Yeah, I'd
or
put
the
the
pads,
tampon
do
shoes.
the pads,
Yeah, I'd
the, like rubber bands.
maxi pad shoes.
Yeah,
Like
that
I would
be
have
your
to
thing.
like figure it out. Like I would have to figure out certain things that I take for granted. That's the thing that I learned is that I take certain. I hate to use tampon as a luxury, but I take certain luxuries for granted, right?
That's true.
And I think this show has taught me that your freedom is really the ultimate luxury, right? Like
It
that's
is.
the ultimate
It
luxury.
truly is.
And stuff like the extras, those become the gravy, right? Tampons are the gravy.
Right.
Maxi pads are the gravy.
But what would be your final food? Because you like some onion thing, right? And that's your thing?
Well, I do like onions, but I think it would be fried.
Like this thing from some
The
restaurant.
bloomin' onion?
Yeah, that's
I
your
do
thing,
like
right?
a
Are you
bloomin'
over it?
I like a fried anything. Like it would be my final meal would be fried.
Okay.
But it would probably be if I'm being honest, a Big Mac.
Mickey D's?
With a large
We used
fry.
to sing this song back in the day.
Yeah.
They go, Mickey D's, gonna buy me some burger with cheese. Supersize my fry, throw in the apple pie for only $3.99.99.
That'll be released today on iTunes later on. So
Check out
It's so good to see you. Thank you for coming. Orange is the New Black. Netflix right now.
she needs to host the show.
Oh, yeah.
For great deals on travel.
If you're looking to save time, money, and your sanity, don't touch the dial. Back again with some simple everyday tricks for life's little frustrations is the host of True TV's Hack My Life, Kevin Pereira.
Hello.
Thank you for having me back. Kevin, Kelly is already sampling one of the hacks. We'll get to that in just a second.
I dug right in. I helped myself.
No.
What are we starting with?
That's good. We're starting. Well, I love wine and cheese nights with my Alexa. I just shut off the lights and I just
And you
get.
Oh, I thought your wife's name was Alexa.
No,
I
not
had
at all.
no
No
idea.
one will commit. I tried. You're laughing staring at my pain.
Okay.
No. Usually I get to like the third or fourth bottle and I can never finish it. So what to do?
That's great.
Pour a little
It's
into the
hard
pot.
to, that fourth bottle does not go
that's the
down as
real
easy
Oh,
as
it's
the
so
first.
tough, and then up come the daddy issues. So take your leftover pasta, throw it into a pot, give it a boil. It does
Yeah.
some magic, some science. I'm public school educated.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works. Right. Then
Oh, it's purple
you got
pasta.
some purple pasta,
Yeah.
which I think you can charge for. You can garnish however
And
you
is that
like.
because it tastes good?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
the Zinfandel will get in there. And
It tastes like wine?
yeah, go for it. You want to give it a little try? I know you're hungry.
Sure, I'm
Hop on in.
always hungry.
Nothing like tasting peanut butter and then some wine pasta cup.
Yeah, it's
Listen.
a real mix. It doesn't look right. I'm going to be honest. It looks like a wad of Big League Chew, but...
It's good?
Yeah?
Nice.
There you go.
No more lonely nights.
All right. Now, and then here's a great hack in case you threw out the cork or you've been drinking straight from the bottle and you want to save it. Take a balloon. Blow it up. Put it sideways on the bottle, right?
Yeah.
Gonna let it close. It's fine. It's not Mentos and Diet Coke, but it does seal nicely.
No way. That's great.
How did you learn that? You must drink a lot of wine.
From the streets, Kelly.
Yeah, from the mean streets.
From the mean
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So you need to shave. It's a thing that happens sometimes, and you run out of shaving cream. What do?
You eat
lather up with peanut butter?
Kind of the hack, actually. No, peanut butter is a substitute for shaving cream.
Is it okay for the face?
Yes, I believe so. It's a terrible way to test for an allergy, but it can be used in a pinch. Do you want to do the honors?
Yeah, I'm going to. I'm just going to take out a spare spoonful before
So she can have a bite in a minute.
There goes our
Okay, yeah.
Breakfast.
Ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can apply
You want it on that
liberally.
side?
Wherever you want.
Yeah, and go ahead and spackle it right on there. Yeah.
Okay, Gelman, stop being so bossy.
It's just like making a sandwich, Kelly.
Yeah. And this is an animated gift
You
that
are
will
the
live forever,
sandwich
right?
of my
I
life.
feel like you're making a clay sculpture out of my cheek.
You know what? You're so pretty. Yeah, how long do we let this sit on?
An hour.
Well, yeah, it's already been too long. But the oil and the peanut butter is good for the skin, and then you just go ahead and,
And
give
then
a
you
little
just
shake.
shave?
There's some water there, too. Go for it. Yeah.
Really?
Hop
But
on
I feel like it hasn't been on there.
Why-
Huh?
Ryan, are you okay with this?
We've known each other a long time.
Okay. So you just go ahead and get on in there, and
Oh, Ryan. Oh,
comes
Ryan.
off in a jiffy.
Oh, Ryan.
Don't you have one of those Don't you have one of those flexible razors?
This feels like a terrible razor. That's a razor that's like from a whaling vessel. I'm wiping this off of your face.
So, is this for the pain that I just endured?
Actually, a substitute for aftershave, you can use apple cider vinegar. It's an astringent. It closes pores. And oh no. And it'll make your face smell like a one-star Uber. So that's a bonus hack right there.
Yeah, that is a good bonus hack. And then you eat the rest of the peanut butter.
And then go for it, right?
I mean,
That was